Me, what I can say, we are...
Are we growing? Is our economy growing?
No, it's not growing.
It is shrinking.
It's shrink. It's stagnant. Now our economy is stagnant. Yes. Because youth, they don't have employment, as we talk. People, their children, they have master's degrees, PhD level. They don't have
They're
job
looking for clerk's jobs.
And there is nothing which is growing in
You
this
cannot
republic.
run to the counties if you have a problem.
Even Uhuru, yesterday, when he was launching SGR, he said he's tired. He's tired.
He wants to go home.
You want to go home to relax. So you have to prepare to know what will happen.
But you break it, you own it. He found it very good. He's the one who put it in this state. It is his administration. Can we deny that?
No. He's his
When
administration.
Kibaki left the place,
Yes.
we had almost zero external debt.
Yes.
And we had very little internal debt.
And the economy was growing by...
And the economy was growing at 4.something%.
Yes.
Now the economy is shrinking. It's not growing
shrinking.
even at 1%. So he's the one. It's during his term that this thing happened. Would you buy the story that who is responsible for this problem? Is it Uhuru or Ruto? Or is it both? Or is it the administration?
I think they are both. Because it's both Uhuru and Ruto.
Yes.
Because, they had their manifest, Jubilee manifest. And we launched it at Kasarani. Big booklet.
And people elected them on the basis of that.
Yes, based on that. It was a big launch that time. I was there for almost 4 or 5 hours. It was very colorful. Booklet, we carried it even 4 or 5. When we read about it, but what we have seen is maybe 10% for the manifest.
They did not walk the talk.
No. They did it. That's what is happening in this Republic of Kenya. And again, Ruto and Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, they are not in the same line now. They are not moving
Are you
together.
sure this is not just some kind of a hoax to try and
There is
cheat
no
Kenyans?
No. They can't cheat Kenyans. Because the problem is handshake. Even President Uhuru Muigai said, when he did handshake, he created so many enemies on the other side. Mount Kenya side and Rift Valley side. So he's in between. He's tired and he wants to
Paul
move.
Kobia, hang on to your thoughts. We will have a short commercial break and shall be right back. Viewers, we shall have a short commercial break and shall be right back. Welcome back to our Speakers Gallery show. Viewers, for those of you who have just joined us, our guest today is Paul Kobia. Paul Kobia is a businessman in the gemstones industry. He is also a whistleblower. And we are head to head with him today because he has too many whistles to blow. Tell me, where are we going to go? Because if Uhuru and Ruto have taken us to an economic collapse, and we're going for elections in 2022, and everybody is preparing themselves, and Raila has been co-opted into the same clique who caused us the misery that we're in as a country. Where do we go? Who's going to be our next president? Where is the salvation for Kenya?
One, let me compare Kenya now. Now it's like former Brazil. Before President Lula took over. Lula.
Yes.
Brazil was exactly the way we are now. Brasilia, they decided
they will take that man as a president.
They will take that man as a president of Republic of Brazil. And he was the chairman of Truck Drivers Association in Brazil.
Very little formal education.
Yes. And they decided to elect him because he was the voice of people of Brazil. And exactly Brazil was here. They had a lot of debt. Sugar farmers debt. Export industry debt. Everything. In fact, he was elected before he became a president. He was the chairman of Workers Association. Elected like Kotu, the way,
Francis Atwoli.
Yes. And from there, people, they decide they don't want anything to do with their own politician. And they elected him the president. He revived agriculture in Brazil. He paid all debts in Brazil.
He revived industry.
He revived industry in Sao Paulo and Lumana in Brazil. They started manufacturing plane, electric train, name it. Industry is an industry company.
Ships.
Until they were, for 8 years, they were admitted at the G20 in the world. Brazil. Equally, Brazil, it was like Africa. But they changed. And they paid all the debt. And they started now working. They empowered agriculture. Farmers. Because anything we can grow in this country, even northeastern. If Israel today, people they are farming mangoes, onions, what name
And
it,
exporting.
and exporting to other countries. Why not northeastern? Why not Turkana? So is government laxity for development and vision. The problem, what I can say, our leaders, they don't have vision. I have seen so many leaders, even in the Arab countries, talking to them. I asked them, what was your vision? He said, our vision, we are looking ahead like giraffes. We are giraffes. But our leaders here, I can say they are...
Looking between the legs.
Yes, between the legs. That's the problem. They don't have vision in this Republic of Kenya. Why farmers, they are suffering? In this country, we have coffee, we have tea, we have everything, name it. Country is very green.
And our president says one time, "Mnataka nifanye nini?" Literally flipping his hands in despair and in surrender. Other times he tells you he's tired.
You have to be tired because he's surrounded by cartel. They are not advising him properly. In terms of advising the president of Republic.
But he's your friend.
Now,
He's your friend, isn't he?
he's my friend. But now, the cartel who are surrounding His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, there is a lot of backbiting in State House there, this one. That's why you see there is no development in this country, Republic of Kenya. Exactly like what happened in 2013. Voters saved them. Voters. And what I can say, the people who were elected in 2013, who were appointed position like CS, PS, they are the people who are rejected. They had doubt. And in fact, they didn't vote for the president of the republic. What happened is the PSC board, they chose CV and they didn't vote for the president. People who voted for His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, they don't have job even now. They are the people who have become beggars in town. Normally we close our window because they have become beggars and they are Jubilee operative in this capital city. So he lost control, his supporters, country as a whole, he lost control completely. His Excellency of Republic of Kenya. But he said, nimechoka. Yesterday he said, nimechoka. And in fact, he's tired. So, in this Republic of Kenya, 2022, we have to vote wisely. And we have to vote for the leaders who can develop this Republic of Kenya. Comparing with the Brazil, in fact, he had a problem with the ruler, but he changed. You can read the history of Brazil. I read about Brazil. I read about Singapore and Japan. How the former prime minister...
when they witch hunted him and victimized him, Brazil is going back to the old days now. It's becoming poor again.
In fact, the system...
Because the lady who took over from him was haunted, out of office. They threw her out of office. They went after him with the intention of putting him to jail, which they did, of course.
Yes.
He was convicted. But now the economy is shrinking. Brazil is suffering a recession.
It's suffering a recession because you remember Rodzil, the lady who took over after the Lula. She was the chief officer of the Lula.
Yes. So
she was very close.
She knew how to do things.
She knew how to operate, how to grow the economy of the country.
They hunted her out of office.
Yes. They wanted her. And it is conflict. It was international conflict on business worldwide. Because America, they had to supply with things in Brazil. Japan also, they have interest. Chinese, they had interest. So if you lock Americans for big supplies in the country, then you will have problem with them. That's what I can say. That's what happened exactly in Brazil. And he was trading with big tigers.